I'm sure some of you have heard the saying, you can't keep a good man down. Well, for this broadcast, I like to flip that saying and put it this way. You can't keep a good scam down when a scam gets good. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Umar Johnson has returneth. He will not go quietly into the night. He will not take himself and go open up his school and just chill and educate the youth that he's been promising to do for a decade. No, he is back. He's on podcasts. He is calling out FBA and ADOS. And people that watch my show, frequent viewers, flyers, they said, Tim Black, you didn't respond to it, so let's get into Dr. Umar. Let's unpack Dr. Umar's recent appearance on the It's Up There podcast with the brother Loom.
I don't have a problem with the American African people seeing the need to make it clear to other branches of the global African family that when you come here, you need to be clear that we built the house and rolled out the carpet for you. Be respectful in my home the same way you would want for me to be respectful in your home. So the concept of that American African identity, I have no issue with it. It needs to be done. It needs to be said. This is not new. What is new about it is the adversarial stance that they are taking towards African immigrants who come here from the diaspora, and the energy that they give them, the negative energy that they give them, which supersedes the negative energy you give to the white man who enslaved you then and oppresses you now.
You say you got no problem with us, saying that we rolled out the carpet and this is our country and these things. Well, then why make the video? Because it sounds like the only beef really is feelings. It sounds like you got a problem with some people getting their feelings hurt online. Dr. Umar, I don't know if you know this or not, but the internet is full of people saying things. And there's no valve, no filter, no cutoff. People are going to say things forever. People have been saying things forever. No matter what you and I say about anybody, people are going to make posts. They're going to get engagement. They're going to say negative things, sometimes positive, occasionally. But that's how the internet works. So really, you don't really have a beef, do you? Because you've been on the internet for over a decade and you know how it goes. I disagree with you because you said something about Black Americans, and I'm going to say foundational Black Americans, not going at white Americans.
Which supersedes the negative energy you give to the white man who enslaved you then and oppresses you now.
Black Americans have been questioning and fighting against the white system of supremacy, the white structure, the elites forever. And we will continue to do so and have continued to do so well before you and I were born. And it's continuing now and will continue. In fact, we set the example of what resistance and fight back and pushback is. In fact, fam, all countries, all ethnic groups, they wish that they had the same stamina that we have for the fight. Because Black Americans are the pinnacle of resistance, the pinnacle of pushback and fight back. So for you to sit and say, we haven't been fighting the whites, it's goofy. It's not based in reality. It's based in your imagination.
There's nothing a continental African immigrant can do to me that can supersede what the white man has done to me. There's nothing a Caribbean, Central South American African immigrant can do to me that can exceed what the white man has done to me. So why is it I can have so much vitriol, hatred, disrespect, animosity towards someone who looks like me just because they came from another place, when the white man who's responsible for my hell here, I've never given him half that energy.
What?
And then on top of that, it's contradictory in this way. You still identify with the white man.
Pause. What is Dr. Umar even talking about here, fam? He said a lot of things that don't make any sense. Continental Africans haven't done anything to us except be disrespectful. Very disrespectful for a long period of time. Same thing with Latinos and Black Americans and Mexicans. It's been an ongoing beef in certain pockets across the country forever. You know, go to prison. Well, in the prisons, there's a definite divide between Latinos and Black Americans and foundational Black Americans. But I gotta say, fam, this whole idea that this is more than, as pertaining to Africans, is more than just beef online. That's all it's been. I mean, it hasn't even spilled over into fistfights. I mean, it's just been roasting sessions on TikTok and X that people have basically been using for engagement and to build their channels. And I'm sure you understand that, Dr. Umar, because that's what you're doing now. That's why this topic is up. That's why Loom presented it. I mean, because people want to hear about it. It's engagement, it's talking, it's conversation. It's a part of the profit center, the market, the model of making money on the internet. And besides that, I don't see a big deal. I mean, what are we talking about? A few back and forth videos. And to this point, I haven't heard anybody be more out of pocket than an African that was calling for the extermination of Black Americans. That's the worst I've ever heard, and it came from that side of the camp. But, fam, you know, you talked a lot. Dr. Umar in this clip, he talks a whole lot. He makes a lot of comments. It's about a 25-minute segment with the brother Loom. And, fam, when you go back over it, you'll see Dr. Umar contradicts himself because he initially says foundational Black Americans have been overstepping, have been so rude, out of pocket, disrespectful, insulting, vitriolic, all these things. And then he goes on to say this.
You mean to tell me you fighting the white man who's an enemy, and I'm going to make an enemy out of all my Black brothers and sisters around the world? That is insane.
Yeah, I don't
And it's not one-sided. I want to be clear, Loom. African immigrants are just as guilty of this sectionalism and division. I want to be very clear because I've seen the feed. People send them to me. It is. I'm not saying that ADOS FBAs are more liable for the racial divide. They're not. It's equal. Some of the stuff I've seen continental Africans say about American Africans is unacceptable. And some of the things I've seen us say about them is unacceptable. So I'm not giving one side more blame than the other. They're equally wrong.
Yeah.
Make that make sense. So let me get this right. The whole first part of this video is you saying foundational Black Americans are going too far, being too vitriolic, being too insulting, you know, crazy. We're running roughshod over Africans online. Very disrespectful. Only for you 15 minutes later to say, hey, it's both sides. Both sides are bad, equally bad. And yeah, I've seen it. I've come across it in my feed. Now, maybe in real time, Loom has gone from topic to topic to topic to topic with you in this conversation. So he he wasn't able to keep track of all the times you contradict yourself, my brother. But when you look at the clip and then you go back, and as I was, beginning to examine what you said, I couldn't help but notice you contradict the hell out of you. It's like you're debating you. Won't you just admit, brother, that you feel left out? Yeah, you feel left out, and you want to be a part of the conversation, and and this is the way to do it, by invoking the name FBA, invoking ADOS. It just creates this, you know what I'm saying? It creates this opportunity for you to get more recognition and more relevance, maintain relevance, and get those booking fees and all that good stuff. Won't we just keep it a buck, Dr. Umar? Man, I don't have time to lie to people. You doing this. I told you to just be a content creator because that's what you are. And that's what you're doing. You're creating content. Stop disguising your content as a movement. Stop disguising it as beneficial to the overall, when the only person that's really benefiting is you. That's it. And I got no problems with that. You're a small businessman, just be a small businessman. It's when you pretend that there's more than that happening here that I have a problem, that I have to call it out. Let's keep it moving because Dr. Umar's going to say more that requires correction.
You are a Black American? Since when? So you'll call yourself an American, but you'll never call yourself an African. Think about that now. After all I've been through in this country, I'm still going to wave their flag. After all I've been through in this country, I'm still going to use their colors. After everything I've been through in this country, I'm still going to identify with the plantation and call myself an American.
This is grade school level, right? Fam, we are born in America, therefore we are American citizens. Our parents have paid into the system through taxes, through blood, sweat, and tears, and some their actual life as in blood. And parents, grandparents, great-grandparents, back as far as 10 generations, some further than that. And we have you questioning that we call ourselves Americans. You don't question if a British person calls themselves British, if a Frenchman calls himself French, or an African calls himself African. Not just because where his ancestors are from, but from where he's from. We're from here. Your fetish with Africa, fine. That's your thing. I ain't got time to argue with you if you're correct about what you believe regarding that. But I can say, fam, this is pointless. We are Americans. We live in America. You said after all that America has done to us, we call ourselves American. Well, I think we are Americans and we have earned that right. But later on in this video, bro, you're going to name your ancestors, I think you said your great-grandparents who died in various wars fighting for America.
My 3 times great-grandfather George fought in the Civil War. My 4 times great-grandfather Steve fought in the Civil War. My cousins Lewis and Charles, the sons of Frederick Douglass, fought in the Civil War.
They weren't fighting wars in Africa. You state they fought wars in America, for America. And then here, you're saying it's all about what America's done to us. Well, make it make sense. Pick your battles. Pick which side you're gonna be on, bro. You know what it is, Dr. Umar? People just let you talk. And you got the gift of gab, so they do not analyze what you are saying if it makes any sense at all. This is nonsense. We'll get to it later when you contradict everything you said here but let's keep going. Ding, ding, ding.
About if someone is saying that, all right, we look at anyone that is putting in our place and getting access to resources that belong to us because they built their core wealth off coerced labor from our people, but you can come in as an African, as a quote unquote immigrant and get certain access to things that maybe the foundational Black Americans, what they call themselves, believe that, that's our stuff. And so I don't look at the African any different than I look at any other, ethnic group that comes over and tries to take that place.
If that's the case, where is your campaign against the Latinos? Because I don't see it.
There needn't be a campaign against Latinos, a campaign against the policies of the Democratic Party, which have grown the swell, the numbers of Latinos here that have created a destabilizing effect on our labor, the cost of labor in America. That's a problem. Now, I can't speak for everybody in the FBA, and remember, we are talking about millions upon, we're talking about 40 million people. We're talking about a lot of people, so I can't speak for what all foundational Black Americans call out, but I call out, I've been calling out the immigration issues. So when you talk about Latinos, it's not about going at Latinos, it's about going at immigration.
Where's your campaign against the Caucasian immigrants? I don't see it.
Oh, man. Latino Americans are the bulk of the immigration that's coming into this country. In 1965, that's when the numbers of Latino Americans or immigrants really started to excel and expand. We're talking about they grew from 1 million to 9 million. And that was caused by the Immigration and Nationality Act of 1965. They opened the doors and more came in. So by 1965, we were around 9 million, 14 million by 1980. By 1990, we're at 21 million. By 2000, we're at 35 million. And in 2010, we're up to 50 million. And into the 2020s, we're at 60 million. Now, remember, Black Americans are still around 45 million. Top number of immigrants come from Latin America. And that's why my conversation, my advocacy, much of my content focuses on the border issues. And I tell Black Americans, foundational Black Americans, I say, if you are with the Democratic Party, you are supporting your own demise. That's what it is. And if you want to be a fighter for your people, the first thing you got to do is get out of that Democratic Party. They have done this intentionally. I'm saying they exploit them for cheap labor. They want to pay them less. Some will work without any employment protections. It's a lot of reasons. The corporations like it. These industries like paying less an hour for employees. The end. That's it. We can make it about everything else, but at the end of the day, America's one big corporation. And they do what's in the best interest of their shareholders. So does that clear it up for you, Dr. Umar, the reason why we must stand on business on this? To make this about Africans is a distraction, because it's not.
Reparations for me is not about different groups and sects of the race fighting for their crumb off the big pie. This should be one fight, one reparation. Do you feel me, Loon?
The countries we went to that we were enslaved at are the countries that owe us restitution. That makes it simple, clean, easy to understand, because those are the countries that benefited from us being there, right? That's it, very clear. But Dr. Umar has this bright idea that if we all band together, all African nations band together and demand reparations, that we somehow be able to come to some type of understanding between one another. Fam, we got tribes in Africa that don't agree with tribes in Africa. Now you want them to also agree with Black Brits and Black Americans, foundationally Black Americans? It's crazy. It's not going to happen. They can't even agree with their next door neighbors. They beef amongst themselves. Be realistic. Unless the point is not to get anything done, but the point is to continue to grift off ideas, off the idealism that you're doing something. Nah, Dr. Umar, I want to get something done. And in America, Black Americans have some sway electorally. If we fight back, if we get busy, maybe we can maintain it. That's our best shot for Black Americans, foundational Black Americans in this country. It is not to team up with Africa and do a global claim.
Because I'm bringing a solution to this. Since we're knocking on the door of FDMG being ready, there needs to be a progressive American African movement that looks out for the best interests of the American African people, that does not demonize our brothers and sisters abroad, and that looks to build relationships with them as far as that can be done. So my movement to counteract the negativity of these movements we're discussing is going to be the DAFFA movement, DAFFA, Descendants of African Freedmen in America. Remember, Loon.
DAFFA, Descendants of American Freedmen in America.
After freedom came, we were known as what? Freedmen. That was a legal classification. We were the freedmen. My 3 times great-grandfather George fought in the Civil War.
Oops. See, this is what Dr. Umar inadvertently makes my point for me. I'm just going to shut up and let him talk. Dr. Umar is about to explain why we deserve reparations from America as Black Americans. Take it away, Dr. Umar.
Freedmen. My 3 times great-grandfather George fought in the Civil War. My 4 times great-grandfather Steve fought in the Civil War. My cousins Lewis and Charles, the sons of Frederick Douglass, fought in the Civil War. I'm a descendant of freedmen.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Umar. Man, look, man. My brother. I want to thank Dr. Umar for presenting an argument so effectively, I couldn't have said that better myself, my brother. I appreciate you looking out for us. That's right. Foundational Black Americans deserve reparations from America as Black Americans because we fought in every war that America's had. We stood side by side with white folks fighting for this country. We built this country for free against our will. And damn it, I would not go claim a place I've never been and a place I never fought a war to uphold. We as Black Americans, we have our claim here in this country. We should not give up that claim just so people like Dr. Umar can continue to grift off this idea that we're going to get all Black people, all dark-skinned people on the planet to unite. It ain't going to happen. We better off doing what we're doing now, going at America for our claims and handling that in a court of law. That's what we should do. Using our powers here, and frankly, we are the most mobile group of people on the planet. Every other group looks to Black Americans to see what Black Americans are doing because we are the ish. We're the gas in the mobile. Us. Why would we need to team up with somebody else to make a claim? We make our claim right here. The problem is we have Black faces in high places that have too many of us hypnotized into thinking they have our best interest, when in fact their best interest is their own best interest. Once we get around that, we'll be closer to achieving our goals. Dr. Umar, man, look, man, I know you're out here trying to get money. Go ahead and start your organization. You don't need permission, but you did say something that I have to call out.
Do you think you're going to get pushback for even launching that?
It don't matter. I'm stronger than both of them groups put together.
Okay.
You said that you are bigger than FBA and ADOS. You're bigger than both of them put together. How could you be bigger than us when we're 40 million strong? Yeah, FBA is a lineage. You're not bigger than FBA. You're not bigger than ADOS because these are individual people that happen to share an ancestry. So that means you don't even get the concept. You're just one guy that can't build a school, one guy that's been grifting and scamming people for a decade off of one goal that you still have not achieved. Go do that. Go do that. What you have done is you've noticed that the FBA is getting some rhythm. Yeah. And you want some of that rhythm. You want some of that, you want to get some of that juice, baby. You want to get some of the fire that this movement has created. The same thing with ADOS. It created its own momentum, and you want some of that for yourself. The former grift is ending, and frankly, if the school is actually opening, what would you fundraise for? Got to find something, right? Need a new hustle. So this has been, you've decided that this will be your new hustle. To that, all I can say is anybody, and I do mean anybody that would give you money, Dr. Umar, they deserve to lose it. Yeah, they deserve to lose it. Anybody that hasn't wakened, hasn't taken the time to do any due diligence to find out what you are really on, that's on them, man. It really is. My problem is when you get people that could be fighting for something that makes sense, that's doable, that's in their country, that they're accessible to, that can have an impact. If they squander that to go with this, your thing, that's a problem. But man, more power to you. You know, I see you for what you are. A lazy content creator who has run out of content and now is looking for new content to create. It may be a lot of things, but a movement, it's not. It's not a movement. My name is Tim Black. You've been watching the most dangerous show in America. I'll be back tonight at 9:30 p.m. for a live stream. See me there. Stay dangerous. Want direct access to ask questions, interact, and chop it up? Become a VIP member. Go to jointimblack.com. Stay dangerous.